And welcome, sports fans, to today's Sports Roundtable. Glad you joined us. And one of the most exciting times of the sports season is mid to late February into March. That means it's district basketball time here in Southeast Missouri, and we're starting to get into some state tournament play here this next week as well. So very exciting time to be tuned in right here on YHC TV here late February and March, as we bring a lot of games to you, as we already have here in the last week, and we'll continue to do so here over the next 2 weeks here on YHC and online at yhctv.com. So let's go ahead and get into our show. We got a big show today. We got guests coming in. We've got Jason Irby with the Portageville Bulldogs coming off their victory a few nights ago. We'll have him here momentarily. Also, Blankenship going to be along with us. Talk about their game from Class 1 District 1 Finals from a few nights ago as well. And we'll also have highlights of those games that we did, Class 1, 2, and 3 District 1 championship games from the last few nights. We'll have highlights of those, so a lot to get to. We'll even look ahead to the Class 4 and 5 district tournaments that are set starting today. They're actually getting underway today, and we'll be talking about those as those district tournaments take place over the next week. And sectional round is underway this next week, Tuesday and Wednesday night, for classes 1 through 3. So action-packed and fun time to be a sports fan here in Southeast Missouri, with all the district and state tournament action getting underway. So let's go ahead and get into things from the last few nights. Let's go ahead and start with the game we had last night. Friday night, we had the boys Class 3 District 1 championship game. That was the Charleston Blue Jays and the Crothersville Tigers. Charleston coming away with that victory 63-47. And nice victory for the Charleston Blue Jays last night. Really never in doubt of that game last night. They got out to a lead and pretty much held on to it. Crothersville just never could make a great run to threaten the Blue Jays last night in Charleston. That was in Charleston. And taking a look at
Charleston goes out with a long pass down to Blessed Kimball. Davis out the privet. Sandy Johnson from the corner for three. Kind of.
You've got to certainly execute that three-point shot to hang with Charleston.
Nice drive to the bucket. The Blue
Style
Jays
of play.
To get their lead here in the
Johnson with the drive. Puts it up.
Johnson
nice driving on Gillespie. Puts it up. Being guarded by Gillespie. He breaks it. Gets it underneath. Nice play. Gets double team. Porter drive underneath and put it up. Put out front. 2 to go. Shot from the corner for 3. Count it.
For the Charleston Blue Jays over the Crothersville Tigers.
Down here, nice drive to the bucket. And a finish.
Keeps the dribble alive. Privet to the corner for 3. Good.
On the right side for
oh, good. Nice move by Porter. Oh, boy. Stop pop from the free throw line. No good, but there's Blessed Kimball to put it Bogan. Charleston wants to run. Blessed Kimball gets it. Preston Moore underneath the Blessed Kimball. Lay it up.
And really getting things going.
Turnaround jump.
Nice jump.
Create turnovers. Blessed Kimball drives. Oh, nice spin move.
Nice step through.
Free throw line out the privet. He drives. Stops. Pops. Count it. There's a kick. Another pick by Kevion Smith. He lays it up. Lays it in. Maxwell gathers.
And we see your nice jumper right there. DeAndre Davis knocking that one down. Knocking that one down for the Tigers. And here we see Charleston. They're going to do the alley-oop with the jam. Got the fans going crazy there as we're into the fourth quarter now, as Charleston really starting to pull away with this one. DeAndre Davis getting a nice bucket there, but pretty much all Charleston towards the end of the game here. Nice little runner in the paint. And Crothersville suffering some foul trouble late. Danny Johnson and Kayvon Smith go out. So really shorthanded late in the game for the Tigers, as DeAndre Davis making a tough basket there. And coming up with a few steals here late. There's Kayvon Smith before he eventually fouled out there, getting the finish. And we see here just the last few buckets by Charleston, putting it away as they go on for the victory in the Class 3 District 1 final here, as Sam Bledsoe going to finish it off for a late bucket. So there you go. Charleston with its 10th straight Class 3 District 1 title. Well, it's not exactly District 1. They did go out to, I think, District 2 or District 3, but going back a number of district titles for the Charleston Blue Jays and getting that victory last night as they move on to the Class 3 sectionals. Great run by Crothersville. Just come up a bit short last night, coming in as a 6th seed. They were on the 6th seed, got a first-round victory over Twin Rivers, the 3rd seed. Nice victory in the first round, then beat New Madrid County Central in the semifinals as the 2 seed. So a great run by Crothersville. They really played well in the last half of the year. They contended for that Boot Hill Conference title, just fell short in that one to Hayti, and has looked really good over the last month and finished strong, but just come up against a better Charleston team last night, who cruise on to the Class 3 sectionals. That'll be taking next Wednesday in Dexter. And take a look at the other games from last night. Class 2 District 3 finals. Top-seeded Oran defeated third-seeded Oak Ridge 80-72. So the Oran Eagles advance on to the Class 2 sectional round. And the Oran Eagles, a very good team out of Class 2, one of the top teams around among the smaller schools, and get a district championship last night over Oak Ridge. And moving on, the Class 1 District 1 finals going back to Thursday night. The Risco Tigers defeat the 2nd-seeded Scott County Central Braves 62-60 in dramatic fashion. Went all the way down to the wire. Risco had to battle back in this one, had a deficit of double digits, fought their way back in the 4th quarter down to the wire, and Nathan Burnett got a buzzer beater to go with a little runner in the paint as the buzzer sounded, and got the victory for the Risco Tigers. We got a few highlights from that one I got a highlight from that one from Thursday night. Taking a look here as here early on. Nice bucket on the right side. That's Garrett Young getting that jumper to go on the right side. Here a little, oh, wrong one here. Sorry about that. Got the wrong Risco highlight queued up here. Get the right one in here real quick. All right, here we go. And we see early on a bucket on the left side. Scott County Central, as I said, got out to an early lead. You see E.J. Myers going to step into a 3 on the left side there in the 1st quarter. And nice little fake handoff. Nathan Burnett takes it all the way into the 2nd quarter here. And nice little ball movement there by the Braves, getting the finish on the right side here. And E.J. Myers going to step into a 3 on the right side, knocks it down. And Wilson Glick getting a nice drive to the basket. Had a big game for the Braves. Getting a nice bucket here behind the back with a jump shot top of the key. Tough one to go. And we see here the last moments of the game. We're here tied up at 60-60. 18 seconds left. And shot up inside the free throw line up. No good. Leaving some time for the Tigers. Nathan Burnett is going to go full court. Keeps it on the floor all the way into the paint with a little runner, up and good as time expires. 62-60. Risco wins the Class 1 District 1 title over Scott County Central. And a great finish there, as you see, as the Risco fans just on their feet, going nuts as a scramble on the floor. Nobody got hurt, right? Okay, it's great. Nobody got hurt at that. Cross your fingers on that one. But great finish last night as Risco defeated Scott County Central, and they take the district title 62-60, and a great rivalry between these two. Scott County Central's had Risco's number going back a number of years. They faced off in the 3rd straight district title going back the last 3 years. Scott County Central's won the last 2 in close games, and Risco finally getting that district title over Scott County Central from Thursday night in Gideon. 62-60. We'll be on hand with Brandon Blankenship here momentarily. Talk about that game from Thursday night. Great atmosphere, great finish as Risco advances on into the Class 1 state tournament. And moving on to Class 1 District 2 finals. Out west, top-seeded South Iron defeats 2nd-seeded Lesterville 74-48. South Iron moves on. They will take on the Risco Tigers in that Class 1 state sectional. We'll talk more about that a little later, but South Iron moving on as the top seed in Class 1 District 2. And Class 2 District 1 finals that we brought to you Thursday night as well here on YHC. Top seeded Portageville victorious over second seeded Bernie 50-46. And a close game. Portageville pretty much controlled throughout. Got an early lead, held on to it. It was about an 7-8 point game for most of the game. Bernie made a nice run to open up the third quarter, but just come up a bit short as Portageville just added to that cushion in the fourth quarter and pulled out the victory on their home court from Thursday night. We also got highlights from that one. Let's take a look at those from Portageville Thursday night. And we see here a nice bucket to get the game started for Josh Ellenberg for the Mules. And three-pointer in the corner up and good for Slavings, knocking that one down here. Stephen Guo stepping into a three at the top of the key. Here on the other side, Ellenberg getting a nice bucket again underneath for the Mules. And we see your nice dump-off pass with a finish at the rim with the and one for the Bulldogs. Landon Zoll stepping into a deep three on the left wing for the Mules on that one. And nice block underneath for the Bulldogs, turned into points here on the transition. Bub Lance with the finish. And we see here Guo going to the left side to Lance, knocking down the three on the left wing. And we see here A.J. Hicks getting a nice runner along the baseline. Had some big buckets for the Bulldogs Thursday night, and a nice putback underneath for the Bulldogs here. Nice transition bucket. Lance on the break, getting the basket and the foul. And we see here Guo with a nice little runner with the left hand. And three-pointer, Zoll steps into a three at the top of the key for the Mules. And right before the half, Drew Irby gets a runner for a three-pointer to go right before the half. Great momentum going into halftime for the Bulldogs. And here at the start of the first half, second half, this is where Bernie gets a little run. Slaving's knocking down a three. And A.J. Hicks getting a basket to go on the left side. And here's where Portageville really starts to answer from that surge from the Mules, getting some transition buckets. Kirkwood with the handoff or the dump off to Hicks. Get it to go. Hicks with a nice step through in the paint, getting that bucket. And Bryce Roan getting a nice drive off the glass into the fourth quarter here. And this is where Portageville really plays well late, protecting their lead, just not allowing Bernie to really put together some consistent offense to get them back in the game. Here, nice bucket in the transition. A couple buckets late here for the Bulldogs and for the Mules there. As you see there, 50-46 victory for the Bulldogs on their home court. Their first district title since 2009 for the Portageville Bulldogs. So there you go. Great game there between those two. We didn't get to see them in the regular season, but coming down to the district championship between those two, great ball game, great executed game plan from the Bulldogs. Their defense really set the tone. Just didn't allow Bernie to put up points in bunches. They never really made a great run to get control of that game, with the exception of the first of that third quarter. They got it tied, and Portageville just put that game away in the second half, just executing plays. A.J. Hicks did a great job coming in and getting some tough buckets. Points were hard to come by for both teams. Bernie played a really good defensive game as well. Just didn't allow Portageville to just make a great run to really get a big lead on them. They kept it close in striking distance. They did make a slight run there in the third to tie it, but Portageville pushed it back ahead. And both teams played good defense, but Portageville just come up with the most consistent defense throughout the night and put together the points when they needed them. And that's what it seemed like last night. When they needed the points to push their lead back out, they come up with about 4 or 5 points in a surge and held on to that district title from Thursday night. So Portageville will advance on to the Class 2 sectionals. That'll be next Wednesday night, the Sykes Fieldhouse. And Portageville playing the best ball they've played all year here in the last month. They've had a great run. We'll talk with Jason Irby here momentarily, but they've had some big wins going back to Hayti, Matter County Central. A little hiccup there with Crothersville, but played well in the district tournament and got that victory Thursday night over Bernie. And we'll talk with Coach Jason Irby here momentarily. And also from Class 2, we got the District 2 finals. Top-seeded Thayer over third-seeded Neelyville, 37-29. Thayer will match up with Portageville in that Class 2 sectional Wednesday night in Sykeston. Should be a great matchup between those two. And other regular season games among the larger schools, Sykeston got a victory, extending their undefeated season over West Plains, 64-55, and that'll be the regular season finale for the Bulldogs as they defeated West Plains there Thursday night. And Cape Central over Dexter in the SEMO Conference, 84-50. Cape Central having a great year, finishing up the regular season with a conference victory over Dexter. And they look to host that Class 4 district tournament starting actually today into next week. So big matchup there, or a big opportunity for Cape Central on their home floor this week. And taking a look at the girls' games, Class 3 District 1. Class 3 District 1 finals from Thursday night. Top-seeded New Madrid County Central over third-seeded Kelly, 52-28. New Madrid winning that district handily this week in Charleston. And in Class 2 District 1, top-seeded Hayti over second-seeded Campbell, 74-62. And in the Class 1, that's the Class 1 District 2 final. It says Class 2, but it's Class 1 District 2. Top-seeded South Iron over second-seeded Lesterville, 68-29. And in the Class 1 District 1 finals, top-seeded Scott County Central over second Delta, 71-32. No problem for the Lady Braves Thursday night. And the Class 3 District 3 finals, top-seeded Saxony Lutheran over third-seeded Arcadia Valley, 48-33. And in the Class 2 District 3 finals, it was top-seeded Oran over third-seeded St. Vincent, 83-28. And Oran advancing in that Class 2 District 3 final, just as the boys from Friday night. And if you want to watch some of the replays of the broadcast we've had over the last 3 nights, watch that Class 3 District 1 final, Crothersville versus Charleston here on YHC today, coming up at noon. Also this evening at 6:30, then Sunday afternoon at 3. Also, you can catch the Risco and Scott County Central Class 1 District 1 final today, this afternoon at 1:30. Also this evening at 10 p.m. and then Sunday at 6. And then catch the Bernie and Portageville game. You can watch it replay later on this afternoon at 3 p.m. and then Sunday evening at 7:30. You can watch all those games online on our website, yhctv.com. And even go to our YouTube page online as well. So you can watch those on demand online at any time. So great games over the last few nights. Classes 1 through 3. And they're into the sectional round now. So a very exciting time. And we're going to spend some time over the next few segments with some coaches. We got Jason Irby coming up next. We got him over the phone talking about their victory over Bernie from Thursday night. Also their season thus far. Having a great year there in Portageville. And they extended into the Class 2 sectional Wednesday night, and we'll be along with Jason Irby here in a moment, so don't go away.
Purchase. Our people enjoy visiting with our customers and working every deal to save them money. Customers see these special prices on the internet, but then must have a trade-in, must finance X amount of dollars. At Glen Sane, we'll show you exactly what price you're going to be giving. We'll show you the Glen Sane price is better and you'll enjoy your visit. That's what we do at all 4 Glen Sane locations. Best price, best service. Glen Sane, and God bless our troops.
At Ag Explore, we're farmers too. So we know that farming's never been a 9-to-5 job. Just like the farmer, we work overtime to bring you whatever it takes. Solutions like InZone help you retain 47% more nitrogen with an overall average increase of 12 bushels per acre. Imagine what InZone can do for you. Ag Explore.
And welcome back. And now we're along with Jason Irby, Portageville basketball coach, coming off the victory from Thursday night in that district final over Bernie. And Jason, you're all with us, and we appreciate being with us this morning. Congratulations on the win Thursday night.
Hey, thanks for having me, Tyler. Yep, it was a big win for our kids, and our program, our community was really excited. So we're happy to be able to continue playing, and again, happy to be on here with you this morning.
Sure, and you've had a great run here, especially late in the year. Jason, we certainly expected you to come in with some of the best guard play we've seen in the area. You got a great backcourt coming back this year. Guo, Lance, Irby, Hicks. I mean, you got one of the best backcourts in the Boot Hill. But what's been really impressive is your front court's really coming along late in the year. Bryce Roan, Terry Kirkwood, Garmin. Probably another one there in the mix that really come on strong, that really rounded out your team, and it's really showed over the last month.
Yes, those three guys you mentioned, Brendan Garmin, Terry Kirkwood, and Bryce Rowan, like you said, have really come on. Bryce and Terry are seniors and have been solid as far as leadership all year, and just continue to get better and better. And then Brendan Garmin, as a sophomore, of course, had some growing pains early, was kind of playing some JV and varsity, and has just continued to really improve his aggressiveness, his physicality. Has really worked hard in the weight room and gained confidence throughout the year. And those three guys provide a nice rotation for us inside and help us on the glass, defensively on the post, and then also do a good job for us setting screens, getting guys open, and doing a lot of the dirty work. And they've been huge in this run we've had.
Sure, and you've gotten the consistent guard play. We saw Bub Lance have a big night. I think he had 17 the other night, and he's been there in the mix for you, Jason, the last couple of years. He's just been that steady hand. You could always count on Bub Lance, and he come up big again the other night with some tough baskets.
Yeah, Bub is one of the best players I've had a chance to coach, honestly. He's been starting for us since he was a sophomore, and I kind of think he gets overlooked a little bit because we're kind of a team that has different guys sometimes step up. And the thing about Bub I love is he's not afraid of the moment. He's made big shots going all the way back to his sophomore year. He made a big buzzer beater to beat Madrid County, and he's just never been afraid of the moment. He hits big free throws for us. A great kid. I can't emphasize that enough. He works very hard at his game, and has been huge for us all year with leadership and his play on the court.
Sure, and like we talked about your front court, Roan, Kirkwood, and Garmin really stepping up, and it really showed the other night. Jason, was the defense. Y'all really came out, played some good man-to-man defense, but not just good on-the-ball defense. You played really well off the ball, not allowing Bernie to get that off-ball action that they did really well against Hayton in the semi-round. Preventing those backdoor cuts, those off-ball screens that they like so much to get them the open shots on the perimeter. Really did a great job as a whole defensively the other night.
Yes, I thought that was by far our best defensive game all year. And as I told the kids after the game, as a coach for me, I've been doing it quite a while. That was probably the best. I've had a group of kids actually stay to the game plan. We felt like we had a pretty good game plan, and our kids executed it really, really well. They fought through screens, and the other thing that's really big, and sometimes it's hard to get kids to do, is to talk on defense, to talk those screens out. And that gym, as you know, was very loud. And I thought our kids did an outstanding job of talking to each other on defense, calling out screens, and like I said, getting through those screens, contesting, always having a hand up contesting. Bernie missed some shots. I'm sure they'd like to have back, but I think part of it too was our kids were always there on the catch and did a good job of making it a physical game. And our kids just really got down and guarded. Our post defenders did a good job on Go-Hagen and Ellenberg inside and trying to limit them. And like I said, our guards really did a good job of getting through screens, talking, and contesting shots. And Barty still made some. Weston's all, I think, still had 5 threes, but they were contested, they were deep in some cases, and so we were really proud of our kids' effort on that end of the floor.
Sure, and talking about going up against the Bernie Mules, preparation and execution is huge. Brad Botch always comes in with a great game plan, and they'll execute their game plan almost every night. And you have to match them with the preparation and execution. It seems like y'all did that last night, not allowing them to make a run. They did make an early run in that second half. They got back into the game. It was even after a couple minutes, but it seems like y'all went back to the game plan executed offensively and really stepped it up defensively. And to go into a game with Bernie, having to execute a game plan, it can be tougher than most. But y'all really stuck to it the other night, and it really showed.
Yeah, Bernie is, like you said, always well prepared. Coach Bosch does a great job. Coach Long, they're always so prepared. Their kids are disciplined. They play really well together. They share the ball. So we knew going in it was going to be tough, and it was going to require our kids to really, like we said, stick to the game plan, do what we asked them to do. And they did a good job of that. And, like going back to that third quarter, we struggled ourselves offensively, too. We shot the ball pretty well all year, especially at home. And we just didn't shoot it very well either. We missed some shots we'd normally make, and a lot of that credit goes to Bernie's defense as well. But it wasn't a super played offensive game, I guess you'd say. There were some shots that were missed that would normally be made by both teams. But both teams, really played hard on the defense and made a rebound and made it physical. It was a great environment for high school basketball. So proud of our fans and our community for coming out and then giving us a lot of support. Our dog pound student section has been huge for us all year. That game against Barney completed an undefeated season for us on the home floor. So, and a lot of that credit goes to our fans. So it's just a great environment, and we're really, again, happy to be moving on.
Sure. Yeah, it was a great environment, great crowd on hand, and winning on your home floor, that's special as well. Just skipping ahead to your next round, Jason, you've got the Thayer Bobcats Wednesday night at the Sykeston Fieldhouse, and you talk about a team that's prepared and executes. It's it's no different with the Thayer Bobcats. That's what they're known for, putting together nice game plans. They can win a game winning 37 points as they did the other night. So you're getting another tough opponent to prepare for Wednesday night.
Yes, they were very good. They've been in a mix now for several years, but in fact, going back all the way to 2009, we won our last district title and state title. That's Thayers, who we played in the sectional. So they've been making good runs for quite a while and kind of owning that district they're in. So Coach Pitts does a great job. They run a very difficult matchup zone that is hard to score against, and do a very good job of executing the half-court on offense and getting the ball where they want to get it. They've got some really good size inside. Our physical group that rebounds well. We've been breaking down video already, and they're going to be a tough matchup for us, but we're certainly going to go give it our best shot.
Sure. Yeah, it's a team that's a little different than what we see in the Boot Hill. Boot Hill basketball's kind of up and down pace. A lot of great guard play, driving the ball, moving the ball. But, Thayer's more of a slow down, methodical, physical team that kind of gives teams that move on into the state tournament some fits in this area just because it's just a different type of game that they play.
Yes, they do. They do play a lot different than anybody else we played all year. It's going to be one of those games, I feel like, and whoever can impose their will and get the kind of game they want, their style, is going to have a big advantage. So we're going to try to make it a little faster game and get up and down a little bit. And of course, they're going to try to do the opposite. So the big key for us, honestly, is we've got to be able to defensive rebound so we can get out and get some transition opportunities for our guys. And if we can do that, that'll open up some things maybe for us so that we get some easy buckets, because it's going to be very difficult to score in a half court against their defense and their length, their size. So we've got to do something to get some easy baskets, and that'll be the challenge for us. And again, they'll be trying to offset that. So should be a great game and a great atmosphere again.
Sure. Yeah, we'll be looking forward to that Wednesday night, 6 o'clock start at the Sykeston Fieldhouse. Class 2 sectionals, Portageville versus Thayer. We'll be on hand for that, and looking forward to that to bring it here on YHC for everyone to view. And Jason, we wish you luck the rest of the way. I know it doesn't get any easier, and wish you the best of luck going forward on a great season so far. It's been fun to watch the Bulldogs this year, and you've got a great group there, and good luck with everything going forward.
Really appreciate it, Tyler. I just want to give a shout out to you guys. Thank you. I've got a lot of family in Illinois, and they were able to watch the game on YHC, and that was huge, kind of let them feel closer to the action. I just think you guys do a great job of bringing high school basketball to the masses and from our area. And just wanted to give a big shout out to you guys, and thank you again. And go Bulldogs.
Sure, appreciate that, Jason. And it's fun. I tell you, we're having a lot of fun here. It's always fun here in late February, March. And with all these kids making runs at their dreams. So we'll be looking forward to the rest of the way as well. And again, Jason, appreciate the time from you this morning, and good luck Wednesday.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
All right, take care. All right, Jason Irby, Portageville basketball coach, on a great run with the Bulldogs. And again, that matchup's Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. It's the early game every other year they flip the girls and boys, whichever plays first. This year the boys play first in the state tournament. 6 o'clock start Wednesday night. Sykes and Fieldhouse will be on hand for that. And looking forward to that matchup, Portageville versus Thayer. All right, and we're going to take another break, and we're going to bring along Brandon Blankenship, head coach of the Risco Tigers, coming off that big win over Scott County Central the other night. And we'll take a break and be back with him coming up. And welcome back, and now we're along with Brandon Blankenship, head coach of the Risco Tigers, and coming off a big victory Thursday night over the Scott County Central Braves, and finally over the Scott Central Braves.
1977, that was the last time Risco beat Scott County Central. So,
wow.
Yeah.
77.
42 years, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. In 2019, it happened.
2019, there we go. It's the year.
Yeah. It couldn't have done it any more dramatic. The way that finished.
That was the last shot. The game winner was the only lead we had the entire game.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I knew it was. We were doing the Portageville game. I was kind of peeking in on the game, see what was going on, the broadcast down there, and it seems like y'all had a double-digit deficit pretty much the whole game.
They did. They started. Scott County Central really started aggressive. Of course, it's a championship game, so every team's going to be aggressive. But they really brought it to us. They were really killing us on the boards, and they won the first quarter, won the second quarter. We were down 11 at halftime. Kind of did some soul searching at halftime to really see if we still believed that we could win and compete there, and came back out in the third quarter, cut it to 2 actually in the third quarter, but then they finished the quarter on a 9-0 run, so got it right back to 11. So, yeah. But it was good proof that we can come back, and if we just just start getting stops and getting good looks. So yeah, we just pushed it right down there till the end. Just I guess the only lead that matters is the one when the buzzer goes off, right? So
yeah, and I've seen bits and pieces of the game, but it seems like they're so hard to come out and just jump out on. They just because they play with energy, they play with the athleticism they have, being able to get points early. So it just seems like they're a tough team to just jump out on.
Right, and Klein had them ready to go for sure. They I scouted them probably 3 or 4 times, and each time I'd see them, they do a 1-2-2 half court trap back to a 2-3 zone typically, and they come out and guarded us man, So, but they really got up and guarded us, and really the best success. I was trying to tell our guys to be aggressive, that we need to start the game aggressive, and Burnett was taking it hard to the basket early, and he had some success with that. And it seemed like some of our other guys were a little bit timid at times in taking shots, but guys stepped up big, third quarter there, and kind of set the stage there for the fourth.
Sure. You're a great three-point shooting team. Burnett, Myers, and Meesey, and Young. They really have a great tendency to hit the three. You got some shots. E.J. Myers hit some big ones last night.
Right.
Contributed, and that's certainly what y'all need. You got to have those other guys hitting those key shots from the perimeter, and got some of those last night.
Yeah. They you come out in the third quarter, and really the run that we made to get back in it. I mean, I think that one was so crucial just because it caused us to, we always believed we could win it, but it caused you to believe a little more, I think. And even though Scott Central countered that with their run, obviously Burnett hit the shot at the end, and I know we need to talk about his fourth quarter that he had, because that was just he put us on his back for sure. The third quarter though, it seemed like it was some of the other guys that stepped up, and we needed that. We had to have that, and guys hit shots and stuff. So, but then we got to the fourth, and Burnett had 20 in the fourth.
Wow. In
the fourth quarter, and he just kind of hit big shot after big shot. He had the three working. He had the pull up.
Third quarter, he kind of
he didn't score. He didn't score in the third quarter.
Yeah.
But other guys got involved,
yeah.
And so and we have that balance. You know, I mean we're definitely not a one-man show.
Because I've seen nights throughout the year, Burnett will go scoreless for a quarter, but then EJ will hit 3 or 4 threes in the same quarter.
Right. It's usually Burnett finding finding him. In the semifinal game against Delta. And Delta's a really good team, and that was a tough matchup for us in the semifinals there. And Macy had probably his best game of the season overall. I mean, he did a great job guarding the Berry kid, and then he had, I think was he our leading scorer, I think with 19 maybe. So he had one of his best games. So I mean, we've got that capability. We got other guys that can step up. But man, when the big moment hit. Burnett, he was ready for it.
Yep. And you got to be tense over there. It's 18 seconds left, and they've got the ball. When it ties, you never know if it's going to be a foul, a bucket, and push you in desperation mode. But it seems like they shot it just a little too quick. Left you about 9-10 seconds left. Got the rebound and let Burnett get up the floor.
Right.
And that's the way you want it. With the defense get back on their heels, he's able to push the ball up, keep it on the ground. And got a good look right there in the paint.
In that whole scenario, probably the most nerve-wracking thing was the rebound.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they shot it, and they missed, and rebounding was a little bit of a struggle all night. And so and it got tipped around, I think. Nobody just secured it right away, but got to the right guy's hands. And
because Burnett wasn't even in on the under the glass. It kind of got tipped around. He got it on the baseline and was able to loop out and make his run.
And it's so tough in those situations as a coach. I mean, do you call a timeout and try to micromanage things, or do to make sure you get a good look, because you're never certain what look you're going to get there. But being the fact that it was a tough miss for them, and we've as a coach, I kind of try to do that. I kind of if we got the opportunity and I feel like it's in the right guy's hands, we just let them play on that, especially in a tie game, because I mean at worst if we miss going down there, we go to overtime.
Yeah.
So,
and you had the defense back on their heels, back in transition. It's kind of frantic,
Right.
Somebody's going to pick up their man, might leave somebody open. So a lot of opportunities there.
He said in the Sykes paper that he thought he missed it. He said when he let it go, he said he didn't feel like it was going in, but
it kind of did a little rattle in there, but it finally dropped. So it probably didn't have the cleanest feel coming out, but it went down. It's all that matters. So in dramatic fashion, Risco Tigers advance on. And, since the first time since 77, like Brandon said, great night there in Gideon, always a great atmosphere. These two teams match up. You move on now, going into the sectional round, going to play Tuesday night in Bloomfield, taking on South Iron Panthers. I tell you, this is a team, a program that's, one of the best out there just west of us. Seems like they win 20 wins every year consistently. I know Coach Dinkins out there, he's pretty much the class out there when it comes to the smaller schools, right there with them and Eminence out there. And going to be a tough team to prepare for, certainly one you're not familiar with. You haven't had any matchups with them in the last number of years, so it's a totally new opponent you're going up against.
For sure. I mean, Dusty just does a fabulous job out there. I mean, he's one of the best, no doubt. And they, I've seen some video on them. Got some scouting reports on them. Still working on it. But yeah, I know they're young. They're quite a few freshmen and sophomores playing, so they're going to be real good for the next several years. But they get after you. They press quite a bit, back to a 2-3 zone, but it's an active zone. I mean, it's not a packing it in. I mean, they're guarding you hard. So what I've noticed from the video that I've seen so far is just how active they are with their hands. I mean, they make it hard for you to run an offense. They get there, they're in the passing lane, they get their hands on stuff. So it's going to be a challenge.
Yep.
Sure.
And it's the run y'all have had over here in the last handful to a decade, man. Y'all have had a nice run here the last 10 years, and South Iron's kind of the same way out there. They've had some great runs. They've had some great teams that have come up short that could have went all the way. That they've had some instances where they've come up short, but they've certainly had the run over the last decade as well, being out there. So two programs that have had great success going back 5 to 10 years matching up. It's just a great anticipation just with the two programs coming together. And it's kind of strange. Y'all have never played over the last number of years. You know, South Iron's coming over here. They've played Bernie some. I think they've played Kennett. Played some of the teams over here. But, with teams that y'all so similar, Class 1, it's good that y'all's finally meeting up in the sectional round.
Right, yeah. That's there's a fan, and it's awful that I don't know the guy's name, but we see him an awful lot, and he's a big South Iron supporter and fan, and he keeps tabs on all of the small schools and what teams are good, and he usually shows up to 2 or 3 of our games throughout the year. He was at the semifinal game against Delta, actually, and we've been talking about this matchup for a while. You know, the fact that we've never met up, and he said, "Man, I hope we get to meet up with you guys." He said that'd be good. So yeah, it's. It seemed like Eminence was kind of their stumbling block there. They were in the same district so many years in a row, and then us in Scott County Central. So yeah, we're glad to be there for sure. Glad to be in the postseason, and we'll be ready.
Sure, had a great run. Come off the Tri-County Conference Championship in the tournament a couple weeks back. Nice finish there into the district tournament. Tough district this year, Brandon. You insert Delta in there with a team that was very formidable coming in.
Yeah.
You had matched up with them in the semifinals. So that district, it's kind of been top heavy with the top 2 teams the last couple of years. But throw Delta in there in the mix, it made it a deeper district this year for sure.
Right, and Richland got added to the district this year. They had a lot better season this year, and then by the end of it, the Clarkton and Gideon were playing their best basketball at the end and playing everybody extremely tough, and so yeah, I mean we felt like going in there were 5 teams that had a shot at making a run, and so but man, you want that. I think we tried to beef up our schedule this year. We tried to really make a point to get some tougher games on the schedule, and we got in the Riverbend early in the year.
Showcase.
Played it, Riverbend, and Showcase. Coach Mack said, "Come over here and showcase." We got in the Charleston 6-man shootout. So we tried to put our guys through some tougher situations this year, and I definitely think that paid off.
Yeah.
I mean, I know in the tournaments that we were in, the Hawcom tournament, it was at Hawcom,
Invitational.
Yeah, it was at Hawcom this year. It rotates, so it was at Hawcom this year in the Clarkton tournament. So we felt like we played at least 9 or 10 opponents this year that are legitimate. Like a Portageville, who's going to make a run, and Oran, who won their district, and Neelyville played in their district championship game, and Bernie played in the district championship game.
So pretty much hit all the big small schools.
Yeah, we did. We did for sure, and so I think that's definitely helped us.
Sure. Yeah, it's been a great run. Been right there in the mix in Class 1, District 1, and finally getting through and getting into the sectional round, getting to play in Bloomfield. I don't know if y'all played at Bloomfield lately.
We haven't. The last time was 2013, maybe.
Really? So this group hadn't played at Bloomfield. Great atmosphere.
Yeah.
Get to play there, and in a state sectional, it'll be a good experience for the boys.
That was always my favorite gym to shoot in. I only played there twice, and probably had 2 of the best shooting games I ever had there. So Hope that translates.
Yeah, it translates. You got to do it from the sideline this time.
Right.
But yeah, it'll be a great atmosphere, great opportunity for the boys. Tuesday night there in Bloomfield. We'll be on hand for that to bring it to you here on YHC. 6 o'clock start Tuesday night, South Iron versus Risco. Can't wait. 2 great programs going back the last decade. Finally getting to meet up, and it's in a state sectional game. Can't get much bigger than that. So we'll be looking forward to that, and it's been fun. The Tigers been a fun watch all year, and I've had a great run over the last couple of years, and in the mix for a district championship, and it's been a great run. It kind of capped off this year with Burnett getting 2,000 points, and he's contended for the school record. He's right there close, if not already. Got it.
That's the big thing we need to talk about. So he was 30 going into the last game, going into the championship game. He was 34 points away from Daniel Presley's all-time leading scorer record, and so I was and he hit the game winner, and so I'm about to talk to the Sykeston newspaper guy, and so I wanted to peek at the book just to kind of see, because it's hard to keep track of how many points everybody has, and I found out he had 36 on the game, which means
so the bucket passed him.
The bucket that won the district championship in Scott County Central was the bucket that broke the record. So
yeah.
that's pretty storybook. Yeah, you can't script it better than that.
Yeah, it's a great
cool.
finish. Burnett, great career. He's been in the mix the last 4 years, and now the all-time leading scorer, Risco. Great finish, great storyline.
Yeah.
You scripted up.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah. And he's right there. I think he's just a couple assists away from 500 career assists too, which is pretty remarkable there.
Sure.
To have the scoring record and be one of the top assist guys out there. So he's had a great career. We're super proud of him.
Sure. And the Risco Tigers advance, and we're looking forward to that Tuesday night and the state sectional, Risco versus South Iron. Good luck, Brandon. It's been a great run this year, and just hopefully it continues, and good luck in Bloomfield Tuesday night.
Thanks, Tyler. We appreciate it. I know Coach Irby said this too, but we appreciate the coverage. It's been good. I mean, my grandma gets to watch it in Parma, and I've got family in Arizona and Illinois and Tennessee and different places that get to watch the game. So we appreciate it.
Sure, it's fun, and it's the best time of year. This is like a second Christmas here. With district state tournament play, it's fun. And especially in the area we are, a lot of great teams make runs each year, and it's always fun to see the teams do well in advance. And it looks like we got a couple that can make another great run this year, so it's always fun.
Southeast Missouri's got the best basketball.
It is. It's got the hotbed, that's for sure. Yeah. All right, appreciate it, Brandon, and good luck Tuesday night and everything going forward.
Okay, thanks, Tyler.
All right. And we're going to take another break and just give you a little preview of the bigger schools getting underway with their district tournaments actually today in the Class 4 up at Cape. So we'll just take a look at those and the games that we're going to be bringing to you coming up over the next week. We've got a couple more weeks. State tournament play getting underway, and we'll be talking about the matchups that we'll be bringing to you here on YHC. So we'll be right back.
Your farm needs an operating line of credit, equipment or farm real estate financing, or crop insurance. Farm Credit has the tools you need to help your operation grow and be successful. We are dedicated to make the extra effort to understand your operation and your needs. Agriculture and Farm Credit is here to stay. Stop by or give us a call and let us help you find the best solutions for your operation's success.
If you or your loved one has disabilities that cause you to need a little help, Boot Hill Area Independent Living Services can provide the assistance you need. At Bales, we want you to have control of your life and assist you in thriving in an independent lifestyle. The Consumer Directed Services Program allows you, the consumer, to choose who assists you in conducting your daily activities. Bales serves Stoddard, Dunklin, New Madrid, and Pemiscot counties. Call or visit our office in Kennett to see how we can help you maintain your independence.
At Baldwin Ford Lincoln Toyota, we are an exclusive dealer with lifetime warranties on over 800 new and pre-owned vehicles.
Did you know all new Toyotas come with a lifetime warranty?
And all new Fords come with a lifetime warranty.
And most pre-owned come with a lifetime warranty. Baldwin Ford Lincoln Toyota, where we all win. With Baldwin.
And welcome back. Get situated here. And welcome back. And now taking a look at the Class 4 District 1 tournament. That's getting underway today. Yeah, Class 4 District 1. And the top 2 seeds, no shock there. The Sikeston Bulldogs come in at number 1. And they will take on the winner of the 4. Excuse me, let's see, make sure I get that right. And Sikeston with the top seed, they'll take on the winner of the 4 and 5 seed. That's Dexter, the 4 seed, and Perryville, the 5 seed. And they're actually getting underway with play tonight at 6:30. Dexter will take on Perryville this evening. Saturday evening at 6:30, the winner will move on to take on Sikeston in the semifinal round. Dexter should have a good shot there. Dexter at 14-9, taking on Perryville at 13-12. Should have a good opportunity there to advance on, take on Sikeston in that semifinal. And the other first round game is this afternoon at 3:30, Saturday at 3:30. 3rd seeded Notre Dame takes on 6th seeded Fredericktown. Notre Dame at 13-11 and Fredericktown at 11-12. Notre Dame should be able to advance on there to take on the 2nd seeded Cape Central Tigers, who come in at a record at 21-3. 2 of their losses coming to Sikeston this season. And really look this at Notre Dame Cape, that'll be the game to look out there in the semifinals. But it looks like this is going to chalk up to Sikeston and Cape Central for a 3rd time this year. The first one was in the SEMO Conference Tournament earlier in the year for the championship. Sikeston won that one pretty handily, but the regular season game, which ended up being the SEMO Conference Championship game in the regular season, Sikeston won that a few weeks back over Cape Central by, I think that was 3 points, 2 or 3 points, and Sikeston kind of escaped that one. Cape Central had a great opportunity late and just come up a bit short with some opportunities late. Sikeston capitalized, and this 3rd one, the rubber match, is on potentially on Cape Central's home floor, potentially this Thursday night in that championship game. And Sikeston just has not played the same on the road there in Cape Central. They just don't play there that often. That's one thing. They play there every other year, one time. There's no tournaments that they participate in there, so there's just not a familiar atmosphere, environment. So playing there once every other year, and it's just a different gym than the others, it seems like. And I know the last time they played a district championship there, going back to I think 2013, 2014. Well, they had one of the poorest shooting nights that we've ever seen out of Sikeston. I think they went 2 of 25 from 3 that night, where Sikeston, looking back at that team, Al Young, Statham, and I can't remember the other players on that team. They won that district title to move on, and it was one of the poorest shooting nights we've ever seen out of a Sikeston team, and that was a 3-point shooting team as well, and they just went ice cold. But it's a number of years, those players are gone, but just goes to show how difficult has been for Sikeston to play well in that gym there in Cape. So undefeated season for Sikeston coming into this tournament, the number 1 ranked team in the state in Class 4, undefeated, and Cape Central right behind them at number 3. They were at number 2, they moved back to number 3. So you got 2 of the top 3 ranked teams in the state in Class 4 in the same district tournament in Class 4, District 1. So that'd be a great tournament to look forward to this week. Gets underway today, and we'll see what happens. But should be a great tournament all this week, or especially a final potentially on Thursday. Big time matchup there, potentially Thursday in that championship game. And let's move up to the Class 5 boys. Poplar Bluff with the top seed. Poplar Bluff with the top seed coming in at 17-6. Only 4 teams in this district this year, as Poplar Bluff will take on Northwest. They'll be taking on Northwest, and that district's at Jackson this year. So Poplar Bluff taking on 4th seeded Northwest in the first round. Northwest at 3-19 coming in, so Poplar Bluff will be the heavy favorite to move on to that final. The 2nd seed Jackson Indians will take on 3rd seeded Seckman. Jackson at 16-8. They'll take on Seckman at 5-15, the 3rd seed. So we're pretty much looking at a Poplar Bluff Jackson final. Once again, Poplar Bluff has won those matchups in the regular season. So and it'll be on Jackson's home floor, though. So Jackson will have that advantage at least, hosting that Class 5 District 1 title, and that title game's on Thursday at 7:30. So be looking forward to what happens there between Poplar Bluff and Jackson in that Class 5 District 1 final. And let's take a look at the girls tournament. Starting off in Class 4 District 1 for the girls. We've got Dexter as the top seed. They'll take on the winner of the 4 and 5 seed, Perryville, the 4, and Cape Central, the 5. That game's taking place this evening at 5 p.m. Saturday at 5 between Perryville and Cape Central. Notre Dame, the 2 seed. They will take on the winner of the 3rd seeded Sykeston Lady Bulldogs and the 6th seeded Fredericktown Lady Black Cats, and that'll take place today. Sykeston versus Fredericktown here Saturday at 2 p.m. this afternoon. So probably looking at a Dexter Notre Dame championship game, which has been the norm with the exception just of a few years going back the last decade, it seems. But Notre Dame faced off with Dexter about a month ago or so here in Dexter. We had that game here on YHC. Dexter got the narrow victory, and it was a low-scoring, narrow victory for Dexter. I would expect probably the same in a potential championship game up at Cape Central. Dexter, the better offensive team. Basically, it's offense versus defense in that matchup. Dexter, the better offensive team versus Notre Dame, the better defensive team. Notre Dame, not a high-potent scoring team. They Rubel, their freshman, is their best player, best scorer, and she can fill it up. And Dexter will have that same matchup. They've got Shaylee Mosby, their all-state 2,000-point scorer for a career as well. That matchup between those two, but pretty much comes down to defense versus offense. Whether Notre Dame's defense can stifle Dexter's offense enough to keep the scoring down and get a narrow victory, that's what it's going to come down to. So we'll be looking forward to that potential matchup as well. We will be up at Cape Thursday night for those district finals. Girls and boys will bring the girls final at 6. The boys final following at 7:30 Thursday night from Cape Central. So we'll be looking forward to that matchup, those potential matchups in the district finals Thursday night. So taking a look at Class 5 for the girls. Jackson with the top seed. They've had a great year, 20-4 on the year. They will take on Seckman in the first round, the 4 seed, 12-9, and they'll face off the 25th at 6 p.m. And the 2nd seed, Poplar Bluff Lady Mules at 11-13. Will take on the 3rd seed in Northwest at 11-12, and that'll be on the 25th at 7:30. So probably a Jackson Poplar Bluff matchup there. Jackson winning the regular season matchup and having it on their home floor there in Jackson for that Class 5 district final could bode well for them. So we'll see what happens there in that Class 5 district girls tournament as well. And we'll quickly look at the games that we're going to bring to you here on YHC for the next week. Let's see here. Find them here. And as we said here, we're going to bring the Class 1 boys sectional to you Tuesday night, the 26th. That's a 6 o'clock game. Risco versus South Iron. Looking forward to that matchup. We'll bring that to you live from Bloomfield Tuesday night. Risco versus South Iron, 6 o'clock start. Tune in right here on Channel 21, also at YHCTV.com and Facebook Live. And then the next night, the 27th, Wednesday, we'll have the boys Class 2 sectional from the Sykeston Fieldhouse. That's Portageville versus Thayer. We'll bring that at 6 o'clock as well. Then the following night, Thursday night, the 28th, we'll have the girls and boys Class 4 District 1 finals starting at 6 o'clock at Cape Central High School. The girls at 6, the boys at 7:30. So a slew of games coming to you this next week here on YHC. And from there, it just depends on what happens, what teams will advance. If some of our local teams advance, we'll bring you some quarterfinal action next Saturday afternoon, and also for the Class 4 District 1 boys and girls. Depends on who advances, whether we go into the sectional round for the following week as well. So we'll see what happens in those matchups this week, and we will potentially bring you quarterfinal round into the next week. So it's going to be an exciting time over the next few weeks, see what happens and see who gets to survive and advance here in the state tournaments going forward. So that's going to wrap it up for today. Appreciate you for tuning in. Our guests today, Jason Irby and Brandon Blankenship. Appreciate their time talking about their seasons and their big wins from the last few nights. And we got some big games coming to you. The biggest games of the year are still yet to come over the next week or two. Hopefully you'll join us here on YHC for the rest of the way. And until then, I'm Tyler Wagner. Have yourself a great week.